There's a point in this series where the structure stops being explained and starts being delivered, not as information, but as something you either recognize or you don't. This is chapter 14 of the Corpus Hermeticum, the secret sermon on the mountain. If you've been following this properly, you already know this isn't random content. It builds. Every chapter locks into the next. So if you want the full structure, follow the channel and go back through it from the beginning. Because this chapter won't land the same without it. Now, what changes here is the tone, not the structure. Everything that's been established still applies. What appears is not self-sufficient. Mind is the condition. There is no division at that level. Rebirth is the removal of what was never correct. All of that remains. But this chapter stops explaining it. It starts delivering it directly. This is where people usually get lost. Because without explanation, there's nothing to hold on to. No step-by-step. No breakdown. Just statements. And those statements don't try to convince you. They don't argue. They don't prove anything. They point. And if you've done the earlier work, you'll recognize exactly what they're pointing to. If you haven't, it will sound abstract. This is why it's called secret. Not because it's hidden, but because it's not accessible through the same way of thinking that created the problem. This is where the shift from understanding to recognition becomes clear. Because you're not being given something new. You're being shown what's already there without explanation. And that's harder to ignore. This is where the chapter begins. Not by building the structure, but by speaking from it. And that's where it moves next. Once the tone shifts, the idea of secrecy has to be understood correctly. Because it's easy to misinterpret. To assume this is about hidden knowledge. Something withheld. Something only available to certain people. The text does not support that. Nothing here is hidden. Nothing is being kept from you. What makes it secret is not access. It's position. Because what's being pointed to cannot be reached through the same structure that's been shown to be incomplete. If thought is still grounded in sense, this won't land. Not because it's complex, but because it doesn't operate at that level. This is what creates the appearance of secrecy, not exclusion. Incompatibility. The same way earlier chapters showed that perception cannot grasp what does not appear. The same applies here. If you're still trying to interpret this as information, it won't resolve. Because it isn't information. It's recognition. This is why explanation is reduced. Because explanation belongs to thought operating through distinction. And what's being pointed to here is not divided. So the more it's explained, the more it's distorted. This is the tension in this chapter. It has to speak, but it cannot rely on the structure that normally makes things understandable. This is why it feels different. Not because the content has changed, but because the method has. You're no longer being guided step by step. You're being placed in front of something directly. And whether it lands depends on whether the earlier structure is already clear. This is what defines the secret. Not something hidden, but something that cannot be held from the wrong position. From this point, the text moves even more directly. Because once explanation is removed, what remains is statement. And those statements don't build. They reveal. Once explanation is reduced, what remains is direct statement. This is where interpretation becomes the problem. Because the immediate response is to try to understand what is being said, to break it down, to translate it into something familiar. But that returns it to the same structure that has already been shown to be incomplete. This is why the statements are direct. They are not designed to be unpacked. They are designed to be recognized. This is a different function entirely, because recognition does not move through steps. It does not build from one idea to another. It either holds or it doesn't. This is where the earlier work matters. If the distinction between thought and sense is clear, this lands differently. If mind has been recognized as condition, this lands differently. If rebirth has been understood as release, this lands differently. Because now there is nothing being added, only pointed to. This removes the space for interpretation, because interpretation requires distance. And what is being presented here removes that distance. There is no gap between what is said and what it refers to. This is why trying to analyze it creates confusion. It reintroduces separation. It turns something immediate into something conceptual. And once that happens, it moves out of reach again. This is why the text remains direct. Not because it's incomplete, but because anything added would distort it. This is where most people step back. Because without interpretation, there's nothing to control, nothing to organize, nothing to manage. And that feels unstable. But that instability is the point. Because what was being relied on is no longer valid. This is where the shift has to hold. Not through effort, but through not returning to interpretation. From this point, the text continues in the same way. Not expanding, not explaining, but remaining direct. And that's where it moves next. Once direct recognition replaces explanation, the experience changes. And this is where it can feel unstable. Because what's been removed is the structure that normally holds everything in place. Interpretation, process, step-by-step understanding. All of that creates stability, even when it's incomplete. Because it gives something to follow, something to build from, something to control. When that's removed, what remains is immediate. And immediacy doesn't provide structure in the same way. It doesn't give you something to do. It doesn't give you something to hold. It just is. This is what creates the sense of instability. Not because something is wrong, but because what was being relied on is no longer there. This is why people move back. They return to interpretation, to explanation, to rebuilding structure, because that feels safer, more manageable. But that also returns everything to the earlier position, where what appears becomes the foundation again. This is the point of tension in this chapter, because what's being presented doesn't allow that. It requires staying where there's nothing to build, nothing to manage, nothing to interpret. This is what makes it difficult, but it's also what makes it clear. Because without the extra structure, there's nothing distorting what's already there. This is where the earlier idea of rebirth connects directly. Because this is what remains when what was false is no longer held. Not something new, but the absence of distortion. This is why it feels different. Not because reality has changed, but because the way it's being held has. From this point, the text moves toward holding this position without returning to the earlier structures, because that's the only way this remains clear. And that's where it continues. Once recognition is direct, the only thing that matters is whether it remains, not as effort, but as position, because the tendency to return to interpretation is still active. Thought continues to move through distinction. Perception continues to present what appears. Nothing about that stops. So the pull to rebuild structure is constant. To explain, to define, to organize. And all of that reintroduces distance. This is what must be seen clearly. Not resisted, seen. Because once it's seen, it doesn't hold in the same way. This is how the position remains. Not through maintaining something, but through not replacing it. This is consistent with everything that's already been established. Nothing new is required. What distorts it is what must not return. This is why the text stays direct, because adding structure would recreate the problem. So it doesn't. It holds the position and leaves everything else to fall away. This is what must remain clear. From this point, the chapter moves to its conclusion, not by adding something new, but by holding everything in its most direct form. And that's where it ends. By the end of this chapter, nothing has been added. No new structure, no new ideas, no new system to follow. Everything that has been established remains exactly the same. What has changed is how it is delivered. There is no longer explanation, no longer distance, no longer something to interpret. What remains is direct. And that is the point. Because once the structure is clear, explanation becomes unnecessary. It becomes distortion. So it's removed. This is what defines this chapter. Not complexity, but reduction. Everything is brought back to what was already present, without anything extra, without anything added. This is why it's called a sermon. Not because it teaches, but because it speaks from the position that has already been established. This is what must be held, not as something to understand, but as something that is already the case. From here, nothing new is required. Only that this is not replaced by what has already been shown to be incomplete. And that's where it ends.